Alright, so I want to do this quick video on how to dreadlock a back comb and crochet hook. I'm doing a full high def video, but I want to get this one out there. So, I've already got about 13 of them done, and I got this small one over here. Alright, so I just start back combing. So I get focus on the root for a little bit, just to feel a little bit of hairs tangled up in there. And I start to work my way up. I'm actually going down and then kind of lifting up and going back. So I'm not just going back and forth. Going down and then lifting up, down and up, but it's just fast. And I start working my way a little bit higher. And this is starting to get hard. Start to pull the knots in a little bit deeper. And you want to back comb as much as you can, especially at the back over here. I mean, towards the end of the hair. Because when you want to blunt the tips, or you want to round out the dread tip, if this is the less hair you have over here that's just kind of hanging out, the easier it'll be to do that. Alright, so it's thicker than it was before, right? I might just go in there and back comb a little bit more in parts that I feel are soft. So some parts are harder than others. And then so now I'm taking I've got a 0.75 crochet hook. And this is just a tiny, whoops, camera's over here, tiny little needle that you go in and you start pulling hairs into the dreadlock. And you want to do it on all sides of the dread throughout. The section I'm in, I kind of go in all little types of directions, and then you twist it and try to get the other side of it. I like to focus on the root especially, and you don't want to pull away from your scalp. You want to kind of pull towards, so you want to go either in like that or kind of up and down. You don't want to go from the pulling from the root out, because you're going to be pulling your hairs and it's going to hurt. So far my scalp is not hurting. Let me see. Again, I'm doing a more detailed, high quality video. This is kind of just in the process of it and putting a video out there in case you guys are interested in watching the whole dreadlock process. And I only have a top knot, thankfully. I had dreadlocks over 10 years ago. The whole head, big, thick, crazy dreadlocks. And now I want to do them a little bit thinner. Even though these are a little bit thicker than I initially thought or planned for, I think I'm okay with it. So I'm working my way up. Yeah, there's a bunch of knots, which is fine with me for right now. Or not knots, that's obviously what we want, but I mean like hairs that are like kind of loops. Which is good, because the hair's trapped. and then we can pull those loops back in. So this is probably about the 1, 2, 3, 4th time I've done my dreadlocks. Here at the end, you want to kind of squeeze a little bit harder. Squeeze the hair together so you can start to get form. Alright, so we're getting there. It's pretty much hard all throughout. Just going back through, feeling for kind of soft spots. So in the beginning stages, I'm not worried about it being perfect because I end up palm rolling it, and then I twist it with a technique where I take the hair, the loose hairs, and wrap them around it, and then pull them in, which I'll show you in a second. So ultimately the hair, let me show you one over here. Ultimately, it all gets to the same thickness, and as you wash your hair, it'll start to get to the same thickness, and then you'll palm roll it, and then everything will begin to even out. Alright, so I'm at the end. Just trying to back comb as much as I can. Alright. So again, you kind of squeeze and pull in. All this does is just pulling random hairs in and making little knots. Alright, so this is the next thing that I do, is I take like this, start on this side, and I wrap back to the other side. Okay? And you get a bunch of hair. Try to get the white background here so you can see what I'm doing. You see that? So, take a thicker crochet hook. This one is 2.25. You go right in through the middle and you wrap that hair around and bring it through. And then you want to pull this hair to the other side and then repeat. Get some more hair. Like that. Go back in tiny bit higher. And then back into the other side. And then pull it out with your finger. So this is like, for straight hair, it's like its own like retwist per se. Because our type of hair, twisting doesn't work at all. When I first got dreadlocks over 10 years ago, I tried to twist them. Tried to get them twisted by an African lady. That did not work for me. So I just worked my way all the way up at just collecting these loose hairs and pulling them back into the dread. It also thickens up the middle of the dread, which is great. And it cleans up, obviously, the dread of all loose hair. So, what you will notice, what I used to notice, because I haven't had dreadlocks now in almost 10 years. I think the last time I did them was about 7-8 years ago. But what you will notice, and when you're pulling through, make sure you don't pull all the way through. Use your fingers, when you see kind of a loop on the other side, use your fingers to finish pulling the hair through so you're not breaking or ripping hair. So far in this process, with all the dreads I have so far, I've had very minimal breakage. So you see, there's like a loop. You want to pull that through. Again. So I've been pulling this. This is great, this one, because I didn't realize how much loose hair I had on this one. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it fast for the camera. This is a little bit more loose hair than I've had on all the other ones. But it's okay because it's getting pulled back in and it's tightening the lock itself. So what I was saying was that when you shower for the first time, your hair is gonna get loose. People probably freak out about that. I don't, because I know that all that loose hair with this technique, I'm gonna pull it right back into the dread, and it's just gonna get harder. So this is the thing though, man. Dreadlocks take a lot of maintenance. People think it's like, well, it depends, right? You can have stinky, loose dreads if you want, but I can't. I refuse to, and I just can't. I work a job, you know? So, I don't have that option to just like be free form or be like just whatever about it and earthy about it and all that. I don't got that. I just like the style. Watch that one slip through my fingers. Wrap it, pull it in. See there, I kind of ripped a little too hard. Hair didn't rip. It sounded like it. All it did was go through the hair, but it didn't. I didn't feel any hair rip. Let's see. Wrapping. Let me pull in a little softer. There we go. So now we need to start working on getting that hair pulled in, right? Let me give it a palm roll. We're getting there. So hurts your neck, man. Alright, so you kind of go through where there's most thickness, so it's about here, and then this is all loose hair. I go in through there, wrap this hair, and try to pull it up and through. You see? You've already got the kind of blunted tip there. And then you kind of want to work your way back up through this section just to get this tip right. And like right now, I can feel, it might be that this crochet hook is a little too thick for doing this, but it's not very tight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way up and then go in with the thin crochet hook to try to tighten it up a little bit. So keep working your way up. That was not good. But it's all good here. So we're going higher with it.
Whoa, that box is so big. Turn around. You want to see the train? Yeah. They're coming soon. I'm going up the hill.
So there we go. And what I'm gonna do is take this one just to tighten this up. If you find an area that's really like frizzy, you can kind of focus on it and just go up and down in different sections. Or different sides of it, hit it from different sides. So I've gotten to the end. There's still a little bit of frizz there. So I will try to pull that in again. This time I'm going to kind of separate it to two sides. And I'm going to go in one way. And pull it in. And sometimes what I want to do is try to trap it right in there, right inside them. So instead of pulling it through, I leave it on the inside of the dread and try to tighten it while it's in there. We got a loop right here. Let me pull this loop in. So with this loop, sometimes you see you get like a loop that hasn't been pulled in. And go in, hook it, and just pull it in. There we go. Give it a palm roll. There we go. All this little stuff like this, I'm not gonna fuss about it right now. Once I wash my hair and I do the retwist, all those random loose hairs I'll be able to pull in. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna be doing a full length tutorial, start to finish, how I separated my hair, how I twisted my hair. I only have a top knot, so I'm well on my way to being finished. I've got this one row that's left right here, and once that row is done, I'm done with half the head. And then I got the whole back side of it, which is going to be harder to separate, but I'm well on my way. Hopefully I'll be done by the end of the day today. So Subscribe if you want to see that video. You want to be notified when it comes out. Yeah, see, like there's some loose hair right here. I'm gonna take that hair. Wrap it. This one I'm gonna wrap a couple times. This one, oh, it's too long, so it went through, which is fine. Again, I think it's because I'm not looking in the mirror and I'm kind of looking in the cell phone. That it's a little bit different, for sure. It's not the same as looking into a tiny phone and looking in the mirror that's over here to my side. I'm gonna try to trap that loop in here. Yeah, it'll be fine. There we go. All right, cool. So that's fine for me, because I know I have to retwist these at some point, and I'll pull all the loose hairs in. Cool. Subscribe, like it, comment. What do you think? Have you done your own dreadlocks? I'm in the quarantine right now doing them. That one took about 20 minutes. I think it would probably be faster if I was looking in the mirror I have over here. This one's a little bit messy here, but it is what it is. Here's another one I did. So, there we go. Well, obviously I did all of these. I've been doing these myself, sectioned the hair myself, and been a couple hours now, man. It's crazy. But it's the price you pay if you want dreadlocks. So, anyways, peace. See you in the next video.